you can begin to become aware of the absolute absurdity of getting in your own way with creating content. Sally also would not really resonate with the only post one reel a day, because then she's like, well, what do I do for the next 30 hours a week when I don't have clients yet? Like, as much as you can. Look at the opportunity you have, the unique opportunity that you have. Whew, we are back, and we have two short stories or analogies and metaphors to tell you today to get the fuck out of your own way, creating your content, sharing your message, and of course, ultimately enrolling some of those people who receive your message into your coaching program. So there's two stories based on my past that I'm going to share with you today that will help you get clarity and, most importantly, certainty and self-trust in yourself and the content that you could, should be, potentially, and are, hopefully, will be putting out there on the internet, whether it's on YouTube like this, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you post your content. Maybe it's more than one platform, maybe it's all the platforms, maybe it's only Instagram or YouTube, wherever it is that you post your content. My promise of today's video is I'm going to help you, if you're open, get the fuck out of your own way. So I have two stories to tell you, and this is a very spontaneous video, so I'm really, really excited about this one. So, number one story is, maybe you've heard similar variations of it before. I first heard it about 3 to 4 years ago, and it's the metaphor / story of if you're flying from, let's say, New York City to Hawaii. Okay. If you're flying from New York City to Hawaii, on that plane ride, if you're piloting the plane, you're going to have to make little micro adjustments every now and then in order to reach your destination. There will be air turbulence, the winds. I don't know exactly how the science of, aviation works. But essentially, no plane ride is a straight line. You know this. You know how plane rides go curved. If you're flying from, like, let's say Boston to London, which is pretty much a straight line, you don't actually fly in a straight line. You go like a curve. That's really what it is. And so if you're flying from New York City to Hawaii, at least, let's say at least 10 to 15 times on that flight, you're going to have to make slight micro adjustments, right? Okay, well, now think of this. If you're flying from New York City to Hawaii, and the only time you make a micro adjustment is on the very first thing you do, like right when you take off from New York City. And let's say New York City's here, Hawaii's down here, so obviously you're going to go like this, right? Let's say you decide to go a little down, just a little micro adjustment at the beginning. What ends up happening is you go shoop, and you miss your destination, not by just a little bit, but by a lot. And the reason why is because you made a tiny micro adjustment at the beginning stage of your journey. Or you made a tiny micro adjustment that did not have to be made. And what I'm saying this story for is so many times in our coaching journey, and I've fucking experienced this so much, we get this idea to fly from New York City to Hawaii, aka to make a certain piece of content. And we get this idea, we're super excited about it, and then we question it. And when we question it, we go, oh, I think I should change it just ever so slightly. And what ends up happening is we miss our destination because we got in our own way. When you get an intuitive download or an idea, or you could label it as the same thing or a different thing, however you see the world, and then you start to question it, and you get in your own way, and either you don't do it. So, for example, you get an idea to make an Instagram post. Maybe you go on Canva, maybe you just create it on Instagram, maybe you use CapCut, maybe you use Adobe, whatever it is. You get an idea to make an Instagram post, and then you start questioning it, like, oh, is anyone actually going to see this? Or, oh, like, what's this one family member who should have no control over my life? What are they going to think about this? And we get in our own way, and we make that slight micro adjustment that causes us, A, to either not post it, B, to dim down our light a fuck ton, or C, to procrastinate for like 3 days on one idea that would have taken 10 to 15 minutes to execute. That's fucking crazy to me. And I'm not perfect with this. I've experienced this many, many, many times before. But my hope is in sharing this with you, you can begin to become aware of the absolute absurdity of getting in your own way with creating content. Okay? Now that's story number one. The second story, metaphor, analogy is really, and it's really this simple. Okay. You have a problem that you're solving, whatever that problem is with your content. And ultimately, we both know that everyone that sees your content is not going to enroll in your program. That's just how it is. But we also know that if more people see your content, more people are likely to enroll in your program. That is, if you're making conversion content rather than just visibility content. And I've made a whole nother video talking about the difference between the two. So if you want to go watch that, it's carded right up, maybe one of these two, whichever one I pick when I'm editing this video. Anyways, where was I? Okay. So many times we have so many ideas for content, and then for some reason about dimming our own light, we say, and I'll take myself for an example here, we say, but like I only should post one a day, or I only like need to, or like I shouldn't, myself, I should only post one reel a day. I should only be on one social media platform. Or the opposite extreme, both of which I've done before, which is I need to be doing everything. Facebook groups, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. I need to be doing it all because I need to be super hyper active on every platform. I need a podcast too. I need to make YouTube shorts. I need to be super hyper active on every platform. You see, one extreme is like doing nothing. The other extreme is doing fucking everything and stretching yourself super thin. The truth is, what I found with myself is that everyone has different variables in their coaching business. So, for example, person A, Sally, may have fucking 35 hours a week to create content. But person B, George, may work a full-time job and only has 5 weeks to create content. Well, typically, the coaching advice both those people get, which is surface level bullshit, is you only need to post one reel a day. Or don't post more than 3 YouTube shorts a week because the algorithm will hurt you. Or like post 3 TikToks a day because then the algorithm will favor you. Well, George does not have fucking time to do that. Sally does. Sally also would not really resonate with the only post one reel a day because then she's like, well, what do I do for the next 30 hours a week when I don't have clients yet? Like, and I already have my program made, but I don't have clients. Like, what do I do now? And so you see very quickly that surface level problem solving does not work for everyone. And that's why it has not worked for you. You need personalization. So all that to say, what opportunity do you have in your life right now? Let's say if you're George, and there's different examples, but I'll just use 2 for simplicity's sake. Sally, she has 35 hours. Let's say she has 1 or 2 clients, or even no clients, but ultimately she has 35 hours a week where she has open space to do whatever she wants. Well, of course, her main problem is hardly anyone knows her, and hardly anyone knows about her services. George has 5 hours a week, same problem as Sally, but let's say George has $2,000 more than Sally. George may be able to spend that on ads, or George may have a bigger following on TikTok than Sally does. So based on that, George would either A, go on TikTok, or B, spend money for ads on TikTok. Sally may not have any following, so ads may not be helpful for her, or maybe she may not have the money for ads, but she has the time to post a fuck ton of content. So what I would recommend to Sally is, hey Sally, what are your 1 or 2 platforms, no more than 2, that you absolutely love sharing your authentic self and your services on? Let's say Sally says, I love participating in Facebook groups and responding to people's questions, and I love creating artistic reels for Instagram. Well, there's your answer. Go do that again and again and again and again. And wherever you are on Instagram, and wherever you are on Facebook, and for Sally, and for George, wherever you're at on TikTok, just fucking go after that as much as you can. Look at the opportunity you have, the unique opportunity that you have. Get that surface level bullshit out of your mind about what you need to do with content. Because frankly, like, everyone has different variables. I may have more time than you. You may have more time than me. You may have more social media followers on Instagram than I do. I may have a bigger TikTok following than you. We both may be super active on LinkedIn groups. It's different for everyone. So look at what you have. And side note here, if you have nothing, like absolutely nothing, you have like a 10 following on Instagram, 10 people following you, and like you don't have a TikTok, and you have 300 friends from your childhood on Facebook. The question is, where do I start? Well, what do you love doing the most? Where do you love sharing yourself the most? And so follow that line of reasoning. What excites you the most? So look at whatever you have, whatever unique opportunities you have, whether it's a lot of time, a big following, maybe both, maybe neither, but a lot of money, parentheses ads. Maybe you have a friend that wants to help you, parentheses you have another person to leverage. Side note, a lot of people think it's bad when I say take advantage of your friends. I don't mean it in that way. I mean, your friends are here to help you. Take advantage of their willingness to help you while being grateful, of course, and not like negatively expecting that. But look at the unique opportunities that you have. Declutter your mind from the bullshit surface level advice of you need to do it this way and only this way, because most of the time, if someone's telling you you only need to do it this way, or you have to do it this way in order to get this, they're full of shit, and I would run away. And I have run away, so I would run away if I were you. But then again, maybe don't listen to me. Do your thing for yourself, okay? So that's where we're going to wrap up the video. We'll go over these 2 points really quickly. Number one, when you have an idea to do something, stop questioning it. You're so much better than you think you are. Please do yourself a favor and remember that. And eventually, my hope for you is that what you think you are and what you know you are match. And so when you have an idea, you just execute on it. Have an idea to make a video, have an idea to make a post, have an idea to reply to someone in a Facebook group, bam, do it, period. Have an idea to proactively sell to someone in the DMs, bam, do it. If that's how you are, go ahead and do it. First thing, get out of your own way. Second thing, stop listening to the surface level bullshit advice of you have to do it this way with your content in order to succeed, and look at what opportunity you have to leverage, the highest leverage opportunity you have. You may have a lot of money in savings for ads. Side note, I don't really like ads yet, but that's just my cup of tea, and it may not be yours. You may have a lot of time to make content. You may have a big following on one platform. You may have a friend who has a big following on one platform who would love to collaborate with you if you just reach out to them and ask. It's different for everybody. So, second thing, look at what you have, the biggest opportunity you have, and fucking execute on that. You do one, you do two, guarantee you, I guarantee you that if you really execute on these, so one, getting out of your own way, two, looking at the biggest opportunity you have and just doing it again and again and again. Frankly, this is 5, 6, 7 figure advice. You do this again and again over a year, 6 figures, maybe even 7, depending on where you're at in your coaching journey. And that's all I have for today, my friend. If you want some help on this, I'd be more than willing to give you some free help. I have my call link scheduled in the description. I believe it's the first little link. So if you want to talk about your offer, if you want to find your own unique opportunity and you want someone to help mirror it off of you so you can begin to see your own strengths, your own gifts, and what you have as a beautiful opportunity right in front of your face, because sometimes we can't see those opportunities right in front of our face. I'd be more than happy to give you a free call. You can schedule it below. And yeah, that's about all, my friend. Have an amazing day. I love you, and we'll speak soon. Peace.